We are sitting here with Miss Hattie Baker, one of the oldest original citizen of the city of Mitchellville, and she's going to give us some history about the city as far as the founding of the city, some important people that was here in the city, and your dad was the first mayor of the city of Mitchellville. So first, Miss Baker, what can you tell us about the early years of the city of Mitchellville?
Well, the earliest I can go, I have to start from the beginning. When before Mitchellville became a city, it was called the NYA camp back in 1944. They auctioned this place off, and different ones bought it and bought homes, you know, and a lot of homes was here. They moved them away, and we worked most of this land here. So during that time, later on, my dad and other people got together and cooperated into a town. So after they cooperated into a town, they had to have a name. So it got from the NYA camp to Mitchellville. So that's how it originally started.
And was that after someone's name, or do you know the year it was incorporated as Mitchellville?
Well, it was incorporated, I believe. Now my memory may be a little vague here, but I believe it's somewhere around 62.
Okay.
And the name came from the moderator of the Watson district, which was named Johnny Mitchell.
Johnny Mitchell.
So that's why they named it Mitchellville. Yes.
So going to the Watson district, what is the significance of the Watson district and this in this city and surrounding churches?
What is the significance?
Yes, ma'am. How was the Watson district important to the city of Mitchellville?
So, but from what I can understand, it was built up of, I believe at the time, about 30-some churches, and they was originated into the district. So I don't know too much about the works of the church, because you know back then. So anyway, now it's down to about, I don't know how many, but it's a whole lot less churches is into the Watson district. For a long time, it was flowing really good. People coming from everywhere to the Watson district right here. So that's how it originated.
So you would say the city of Mitchellville was I guess a beacon for a lot of people to come to this city for different things.
Right. Mitchellville, when it was organized, we lived here. We've been living here since 1944. So my father worked most of his land here. So they bought, different people that had money bought property. My dad bought, 9 acres up here where I live at? So he bought that, and we farmed it. So for a long time we farmed it, and he cut up in lots and gave all of us a lot. But all of them didn't want one but me, so I still got mine.
Okay.
So anyway, he sold it out to different people, like your dad's parents. They bought lots. Different ones bought lots. And where the community center is, he sold that to Mitchellville for the community center when Miss Bates was here.
Now, what can you tell us about Miss Bates and the importance she had to the city? And because I understand it wasn't always Mitchellville Head Start. It was the self-help project and the Mitchellville Community Center. Can you give us some information about that?
When Miss Daisy Bates came into Mitchellville, it was a lot of struggle. So one or two of the mayors found out about her, after the 57 ride, and they went to Little Rock and they got her. So she came here. I believe she had a 3-year contract, and she stayed here about 5 years. So under her, she set up a lot of different programs, like we had sewing program, Meals on Wheels, and quilting and made and little whatnots, and had the men working on the streets, all that, but they got paid. So through that, we learned a lot, because because she learned us, her position was learning us how to take care of ourselves. And I learned a lot under her. Yeah.
So
she done a lot of good work.
The self-help.
Self-help program. That's what she has, self-help program. At the time, we didn't have a fire truck.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you heard about this big fire truck they brought from Little Rock, no, New York.
No, my mom never heard about that.
Oh my God. I believe New York donated that. It was a big truck. It was for them big buildings. Mm-hmm. It was too big for Mitchellville or Dumas. So Little Rock traded another fire truck for that one. So we got the one we got now. Maybe got another, because that was too big to go down the street. So she helped us get a fire truck.
Okay. So Ms. Bates was very important.
She was, because we didn't, and our people, you know how it was back in the 60s. Mm-hmm. We didn't know nothing, we didn't have nothing, didn't know how to go get it. Mm-hmm. So she taught us how to do things for us. It's called self-help program. Right. And that's what she did. She now put up the community center. Mm-hmm. That's her purpose, to put up that center. Because done a lot of sewing there, you know, pieces, making quilts and upholstery like that chair. Mm-hmm. She done a lot of upholstery, a lot of people coming here to work. And built a swimming pool, and just a lot of stuff. I give credit for a whole lot of stuff that she did. I learned a lot of
Now, when I was coming up, it was a Head Start Center, and then they still had the upholstery, and then they had the dentist in there. So was that part of what she did also? Okay.
She had this dentist come out of somewhere up here a certain time of month to work on people's dentures, teeth and things, you know, and had doctors to come in here. And she just, I mean, it was good. Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Baker, I've always heard that the city of Mitchellville, and I don't know if I'm going to say it correctly, was it a Chinese camp or a concentration camp or something like that? Do you have any information about that? Do you know anything about that?
And we was living about 2 miles across the railroad track there. And I was small. I was 15 years old when we moved here. Okay. And I can't say exactly when they built it, but I do know, and I heard too, that my brother said it was built for National Youth Association or something. But when they used to work over here, they made clothes for the Army. And I know at night you could see lights. It would be lit up because it was a lot of big buildings, you know, like the church and several other buildings. Another big building sit out there on that big concrete slab that you see out there. They moved it when they auctioned this place off. And that building is sitting down at Dumas. That's the agriculture building now. You know, they done bricked around and everything. And the church, I understand, was a mess hall. Because here's a refrigerator in that church, like this thick. And this other building used to be a building sit right here on the road. When the Watson district bought it, they used that for a kitchen. Well, my mother and them used to cook over there for when they had these big meetings. Okay. So I don't know, because when they got rid of the auction off in 44. I don't know why they auctioned off, but when they auctioned off, a lot of people got together, like my dad and a lot of white people, like Dr. Rand, he bought a house. And they moved, a lot of these people moved them homes off to their plantation for their tenants. And I don't know where they carried them all, but then after they got all those homes moved off, people bought property here. And built homes. So later on, Mr. Farrell put up a mill. I know you heard about that, the sawmill? A sawmill right here. Okay. And men come from everywhere and work for that sawmill. He had 3 shifts and worked at that sawmill. So he gave a lot of people off the farm to come into Mitchellville, NYA camp at the time, to work. Yeah, cutting these. That's why the mill at in Dumas. Now they left him with the Dumas. Yeah, yeah.
Now we're gonna go and rewind back a little bit. With your dad being the first mayor of the city, how important was that to your family, and what were some things that he did that in the city that you say, well, my dad, other than selling the land, you say my dad was the reason for that.
Well, back then, young people don't think clear. But the older I get, the more I learn to appreciate it. And I'm glad Brother Griswold had asked me to do this, because there's so many things we come through, and I've seen him, go through as a mayor and as a dad. And I didn't want this legacy to go deep.
Right.
So there's so many things I could say, that he did, and it makes me feel good by him being the first mayor and us being the first family of a mayor.
Right.
Because we come off a farm. We worked all our lives on it. We didn't know nothing. And I didn't have no idea about what it meant until these last few years, so it means a lot to me.
Okay.
And to keep his legacy going, because sometimes we let things like that die, and it just die out and go fade away. Nobody know nothing about it. So I'm glad to have this opportunity to give somebody some idea of what it was, because my dad, we farmed this young land, and up there where I live, where my house is, all up there we raised cotton, raised corn, peas, potatoes, and sorghum cane, which you don't know nothing about no sorghum cane. But anyway, raised a sorghum cane, and we have to strip it. Molasses, that's where it comes from.
Okay.
Strip this cane, cut it down, and haul it to the house, to the mill. He had this mill where it's a big old thing. A mule pull it, go round and round, and stick that corn, that cane in that hole, and the juice come out on one end, and you catch it and put it in that pan. You cook it all night long. That's what he do all day long, cook that till it get the syrup. And that's what he did for himself and other people. A lot of people, he just, but my house, he had a, 10 or 12 foot pan. I don't know, never know how he did it all. But that's what he did. And by other people being around there, I'm sure they talked about how to cooperate this place into a town. So that was before Mitchellville.
Right.
See what I mean? Okay, so.
And even with your dad being the first mayor, you also, am I correct, the first city clerk?
I was second.
Second, you were
The
second.
lady, when they cooperated it, now I can't tell you what they went through to cooperate it, but anyway, this lady that the first secretary, she was a young lady, but she was heavy. So I guess she served about a year. They had to appoint different ones, So they appointed her to be secretary. So this lady, she died.
Okay.
So that was during time, little folk Daisy Bates coming here, a little after she did. So by me having an opportunity to work with Daisy Bates, and I'd be from her office to the City Hall office, and I learned how to do the books. So after she died, the alderman and my dad came to my house and asked me would I serve. So I did. No education or nothing. I just, didn't have to take the money and get that book ready for the month report when FHA come down and get a report of how much money been raised.
But I still look at that as a milestone, or
it is.
For you to be the second clerk of this city that's been incorporated for quite some time.
And that's why I say I learned a lot during her time, because I forget this young man. He was a young man, worked for FHA, and he would come down every month. We had to give a report about how much money we took in for the water and all of that stuff, and I'd be a little behind. And he told me, in the money I be have, I said, well, they ain't paid yet. He said, Miss Baker, it don't make no difference when they pay. It's how much you get for that month. So I learned that, I learned a whole lot. So, it was really experience to me because I had never worked outside my house, never but in the house. So I was glad to do it, and I was surprised at them asking me to do it. But I stayed for 3 years.
That's good.
Mm.
That's good. Okay, there was one thing I've always wanted to know, and it seemed like when we were growing up, and I just wanted to know if it was the same back then. The city of Dumas and the city of Mitchellville, with them being kind of right there together, it always seemed like there was a divide. When the city became a city, was the city of Dumas there to help and say, hey, we don't mind helping you with this, or we don't mind, or has there always kind of been a divide between the city of Mitchellville and the city of Dumas? So was the city of Dumas kind of willing to help the city with some things?
I believe it was there to help.
Okay.
Because I never heard a complaint about them not being, because like I said, at the time, my dad had a lot of help, white people, and they helped us, helped him. And things that he didn't know, he could always get the information. So I learned, if anything you want to know, go to the horse's mouth. Don't be ashamed to ask somebody information about something you don't know. Because you don't never know who will help you. So I cannot sit here and say that they were divided that far. It's just Dumas was Dumas and Mitchellville was Mitchellville. That's just two cities different, separated, So I think they was helpful.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they was.
With you being the oldest citizen of this city, I know you've seen a lot, seen a lot of change. What are some things that you would like to see under the current mayor? There's some things that you would like to see happen during his tenure.
It's so much I would love to see, and I wish I was young enough to help him. Because I see he needs the assistance that he don't have, that they had back then. And I think that he's trying to do a lot of things, and he can't do it by himself. He needs help. Back then when my dad was mayor, like I was telling this morning, all the aldermen, I mean, you see them out there doing something, walking the streets, seeing something that's going on wrong, and they go back and report it to the council. Well, then the council would come in and do, but you cannot do anything by yourself. And it's a lot of things that I can see that we need here, but I don't have the knowledge how to do it. And I wish it was so that, because we need money for our streets, we need money for a lot of stuff that I don't know how to go get it. But any way I could help, I'm willing to do it. And I pray that someday he'll find some, and like I told him this morning, he's young, and he got a mind to do it. But he need assistance, and I would love to see the other aldermen do like they used to do, because them old men, they work on it. Yeah, they was on it. But, and you knew who they was, yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else that you would like to tell us that's, of importance to this city that I may have not, touched on? Or you told us about, the early mayors. Was there any other places, early places, that other things to do other than, self-help in the city? So is there anything else of importance that you would like to tell us of historic about the city of Mitchellville?
Well, not too much more. I think I done covered it. I don't really know right now, because it's so much we need. It's kind of hard to get, because it's a lot we need. We need a lot of our streets need fixing. And we need better homes. Some of the homes are run down, and I realize how that can happen. Because, people like me, they can't get the money to fix their homes with. And stuff like that. It's so many things that we need done, and I would love to see it done. Because a lot of places growing up where it should not be grown up, like my yard growed up, girl. But anyway, I think we coming a long ways, but it's kind of slow. And I can understand that, because people don't have a mind back now like they had back then. you know, because more people was willing to do things than they is now. They just not willing to do it. And we might as well face it. We got a lot of young people that don't want to do anything. And it's good to just go and look in. That's how I learned. I never went to school. I got to the 8th grade. I didn't know how to do no secretary book. First I learned in church though. So I learned a lot by looking, watching others. And I think it still can happen if our young people are interested in learning.
Yes, ma'am. Well, Miss Baker, it has been a joy for me because I some of the stories I've never heard, and being raised in this city, I've always wanted to know about the significance and the historic parts of this city, and it has been very enlightening sitting down talking to you, and I'm glad we were able to do this.
I am too, and I'm so glad to have this opportunity to do this, and maybe something else I could have said, but right off the top of my head, like I said, I didn't get a chance to go through this, so I'm just glad to do it, and I hope whatever I have said will be a help, and somebody else like you want to learn more about it and dig a little bit more, because it's a lot went on here, that I don't have wrote down, so I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
And I thank you so much because you've been a big help.
Yes, ma'am. And we thank you for doing this.
And thank you.
Thank you.
And thank Mayor. And thank the Lord.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah, so I was glad to do it.